Hello, Rooney family. We are International Academy Team 2, and today we will be consulting you on your current financial situation and how this can be improved.
All right, first we want to address who the family members are. We have a Cameron Rooney, who is 30 years old, who is an airfield operations specialist who makes an average of $39,000 a year, and his credit score is 670, which is okay, but we want to boost that up eventually. Jeannie Rooney, who's 29, who is a insurance policy and claims processor. She makes an average of $45,000 a year, and she's 29 years old. They have two dependents, one Ben Salone, who is 1 year old, and then a Salone, who is 3. They also currently live at the medium income average for a house, and the only issue is they don't necessarily meet what they actually make. They're spending too much.
So we'll be consulting you using our group's cash method, which is considering the current financial plan, adapting the lifestyle, looking at spending and savings, and then having a plan for the future.
Now first, when it comes to cash, you must first consider your current financial position. So let's go and look at it. Obviously, there are several key things we look to improve with you, such as your savings account, which we are looking to expand and also to develop. With this, we would look into changing things up with your house, potentially reinvesting the Bitcoin, selling off and replacing your Chevy Silverado and your Can-Am Commander, and also your Ford Edge. So all of this would come up to a current asset and income value of $332,500. Looking at your current liabilities, you do have several things that we look to improve, such as your mortgage, which currently on the house is at $1,387 monthly, with 27 years left to pay off. You also have 3 credit cards, of which we are looking to cancel and rework your credit card solutions. Trying to replace the truck and getting rid of the Can-Am, as I stated earlier, which are heavy expenses and are not very proportional to what you need. And also looking towards affirmed purchases and student loans, all coming out at a current liability total of $214,383. This all comes out to a net worth of $118,117 for your family. Taking into account your current income combined together, your total tax income would be $18,640, leaving you with a take-home pay of $75,000 per year. So going from there, we're going to judge on how we can rebalance your budget, and if you look into adopting our plan, you will see how we will go. This is currently your budget, and as with the information you provided us, we have worked through the numbers, and it has shown that you are in fact living paycheck to paycheck. And we believe there are several ways that we can help you.
Okay, one main thing we will be advising you on is adapting your lifestyle. The first thing we will advise you on is helping you with your eating out habits. We recommend you cut your eating out 7 times a week and shop more locally at a Kroger that is near your new home, which we will be getting into. There's also many YouTube videos where you could learn how to cook instead of eating out 7 times a week. We also recommend that you cut your streaming services and choose one. We recommend Disney Plus for Salone and Ben Rooney because they are so young, they will really enjoy this. We also recommend cutting your Verizon plan and getting a Metro PCS account, saving you $100 a month, and getting a basic WOW internet that is both cheap and affordable, saving you $50 a month.
And then looking at your current credit cards, you have a lot of credit card debt, so we would like for you to pay that off when you sell your house, which we will advise on later. And then we also advise that you immediately cancel the Marriott Bonvoy and the Venture X cards to avoid the expensive annual fees. We don't suggest that you cancel the TJX card, just completely stop using it because it does not have an annual fee, and canceling a credit card can lower your credit score. So we just suggest that you no longer use that. We also think that you should switch to a Discover It card with no annual fees and cash back on purchases at places like grocery stores, which you'll be using a lot with a family. And the card should be paid off within 25 days at the end of each billing cycle to avoid having to pay any interest on your purchases.
Another thing we will introduce is spending and saving. So we advise that you sell your current house for $250,000, and after paying off your mortgage, your net total is $83,000. We recommend you buy this new house in Lake Orion for $185,000, and there are many benefits to this. Although you are spending on your new house, you will be saving. It is located in Lake Orion and close to a lake. It has a large yard and it is close to Jeannie's parents' house, which it will really help with childcare fees. And this is a great investment opportunity for you guys.
Next up is the vehicles that you currently have. You currently have a $410 a month lease for a Ford. We want to end that lease as soon as possible, so it's one less expense you have to pay. Also sell your Can-Am Commander. Since you bought that so recently, when you sell it, you're probably just going to break even since you haven't paid off the whole entire thing yet. Additionally, you want to sell your Silverado for a market value of $30,000. After you pay off your loan for that, you'll be having a total bounce back of $8,200 in return. We want you to buy 2 efficient cars, one being an SUV for the family that is a hybrid Kia for $21,000 roughly. This will get you an additional 180 miles to 160 miles of range driving, so it'll give you an extra 5 days of driving instead of your current week and a half filling on gas. And additionally, for the i3 electric BMW for about $14,500 or $14,900, this BMW does about 95 miles of range on one charge. You can charge where you work, you can charge on stations that are free now, and this can be used for local commuting to your grocery store or to your work. Another thing we want to talk about is current investments. You currently hold 1 Bitcoin, which was valued at $50,000 at the time. Now it's down to 39,200 roughly. It fluctuates daily, which is very risky. It's easily influenceable by multiple social media creators, as we've seen in the past. We want you to sell that, and after taxes, you're probably getting around your $36,000 to $38,000. And we want to split that into fourths. Half of that's going to go into your 2 children education savings accounts. It'll be about $8,150 per account. A quarter will go into other investments, about $8,300, to low-risk exchange-traded funds, and 1 quarter will go into your personal savings finance.
Finally, we want to make sure that you have a plan for the future.
So, when it comes to the savings from the Bitcoin, what we'll be doing with that, with a fourth of that money, is putting it into savings accounts. We want to utilize your old savings account and make that your new emergency fund. So put $600 a month into that account, in addition to the money that you would be putting in from the Bitcoin. And then we also suggest that you create a new savings account to save up for bigger purchases, such as vacations, which we know you love to travel. So we want to put in $450 a month in addition to the rest of the Bitcoin money. And then with college planning, we know that you want to save up for both of your children to be able to attend community college. So we suggest that you open MESP 529 plans for both of the children. So according to our calculations, if you deposit in $8,600 from the sold Bitcoin for Sloan's account, you can deposit $10 monthly, and she should be right around that $26,000 mark by the time she goes to college. And then same thing for Ben, $10 monthly, but you would only have to put in $7,700 because he has more time for the money to grow. And the MESP College Planning Calculator is a really helpful resource if you want to look at those numbers again and see if you want to switch up what we have here. So then looking at your retirement and emergency possibilities, we want you to max out your employer match on both of those 401k plans. So that would mean $330 monthly for Cameron, $350 for Jeannie monthly. And then retirement totals, looking at it, we have it priced out at what you would get if you retired at 55, 60, and 65. And then this also accounts for Cameron's prior Roth IRA, which he had with a previous employer. And then we also suggest that you take out a life insurance policy since you have young kids, and it's really important to prepare for the worst case scenario, even though, God forbid, that ever happens. We want you to take out a 20-year policy with $500,000 for each parent, since both make around the same amount of income, and then this would cost $43.94 for both of you.
Now, going off our plans that we've listed, this is your new budget. And as you can see, it gives you a lot more financial stability and also freedom to use money allocated at the end of the month. This definitely frees up your financial possibilities and allows you to invest not only into your children, but also into yourselves by being able to have a travel account, having 401ks for both of you, educational savings, and other things that we have listed. So, with cash and these savings, you will now finally have the ability to secure your future, not only for yourself, but your children and for beyond. We hope that you think about our plan and think about the possibility of adapting it. We thank you for listening to our proposal.
at the time, like we should do.
I think you're fine. I think they're right at 10 minutes, so I
They
think
are,
we're gonna call it
exactly.
good.
Thank you.
Do you have a question?
No, just some comments, I guess. I like the idea that you're focusing on cash.
Are we supposed to ask questions first?
Oh,
This is my first time judging, so I'm following the rules too.
Go ahead.
So my question is, when we gave you our financial information, was there anything that you felt we didn't give you or should have given you? Were you missing any information that would have been helpful?
One major thing that we took into account of was necessarily where they currently live at in southeastern Michigan. But since we knew that Cameron was a airfield specialist, we took into account the major airports that could have been possibilities. So we tried looking for what could have been an hour drive around each airport, so we could calculate, if the parents are an hour away, they have to live within this range of an airport. So we just put them in a good center area in Lake Orion, and then we were able to calculate where they live from there. That's what we want. But the housing was the hardest part.
Yeah.
Okay.
The current residence is 30 minutes away from the Oakland-Troy airport in that area, so it'll allow Cameron to easily be able to commute there whenever he needs to work.
Okay. And then, how should I handle food?
If you go back,
That was good.
if you go back to the slide with the, going,
Other direction.
this,
There.
yeah. So for the food plan, you do see how we have this allocated with advising you to do this. If you go to the last spreadsheet, up here we have allocated $500 a month for food. While we do know that the cost of food is a variable expense depending on what you purchase, obviously with young children at this current point, baby formula is important. And also, as children grow up, food is going to be a necessity, so providing that money.
You budgeted for 4 people because if the infant needs formula, because I didn't tell you if they needed formula or not. You budgeted basically $115 a week for food for 4 people. Have you shopped before?
Yes, that's what we have. But we also have the extra 651 if you need to increase
Yeah.
the budget for.
Yeah. So that was a pretty low ball estimate. We probably should have put more of the 615 that we have extra into that category. We just kind of wanted to keep that flexible and see where the Rudies would want to spend it. I know that reducing their expenditure by that much would likely not be, especially on food, given their current expenses on that would not be possible. So that 615 could also go towards going out to eat, which you currently love to do. So that that was just like extra money for just want expenses, like.
They're able to choose what they want to do with that money. We wanted to have them have a little bit of freedom, or we wanted you guys to have a bit of freedom with this because this is such like a tight budget. Allowing $600 to kind of just do whatever your hearts wanted you to do, we thought would be great.
So if I have kids, what are some costs I probably should have given you?
Factoring in, obviously the formula which you did mention, along with that obviously childcare which was also mentioned, but also going into the future, potentially if they want to go to a private school, which might not be a possibility, but if depending on that, if your choices, you'd have to provide us that. Along with that, clothing, recreation, stuff like that, and also other opportunities like for example, school, sports, such as sports equipment if you need any, and any like extracurriculars that would cost money. Obviously school, if you are going to go to a public school, it is paid for, but there's a lot of extracurricular activities that students might need, along with like all the clothing and everything, other amenities that they might require, which is one of the main highlights of our plan, which tries to give you more flexibility with your money, especially as you said that you were tired of living paycheck to paycheck.
Do you have any questions?
Well, my concern was with the move. You're assuming that I'm gonna move. And with 2 little kids, where we live now is nice. We know our neighbors, and enjoy all that kind of thing. I'm not sure I wanna move.
When we were looking at the case study, we saw that it said that you'd be willing to move close to Jeannie's parents in order for them to watch the kids 2 to 3 times a week, which would save on childcare. So we just assumed that if you would like to save like a bit of money on childcare and also be closer, the kids to be closer to the grandparents, that you would have to move in order to do that. But
additionally, the house is in a great location in Lake Orion, a very close-knit community. There's a lake right nearby, which is great for any outdoor recreation, as well as super close to downtown, which has a lot of nice restaurants.
It
too.
also has a huge yard, and I know kids love yards when they grow up. You could get like a play structure, and they could just be outside a lot, which is great for kids.
And additionally, we know you're a hunter, and 5 miles north of Lake Orion, you're able to go hunting, so.
No, I like all of that stuff. I'm just concerned if saving the money on daycare by having our parents do it is worth the expense of buying a new house, paying a commission, and all the things that go into it. It's a challenge. I mean, and maybe it makes sense. It depends, thinking forward, maybe Lake Orion would be better than living in Romulus, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Let's see, when, I think I had, 6 months left on my lease. So I understand turning in the lease for a cheaper vehicle. But my truck, I have a truck.
Well,
And you want me to go to a mom-mobile? I'm a boy, and now you want me to go from my hefty F-150 Silverado truck to a minivan?
so the main benefit or concern about that was that truck roughly did about anywhere between 16 to 18 miles per gallon combined, which is not that much, compared to this Kia, which can do anywhere between 40 to 58 miles per hour.
So you will be saving a lot of money on gas.
And additionally, it's a hybrid, so if you have no gas, it'll run another 25 miles on a battery charge, so.
One of the things that I liked of what you said was adapting your lifestyle was your grand scheme. And I think if you were to stick with that in a less detailed fashion, I mean, you can pick and choose, but with the client, I guess I'm acting like a judge now, right? Offering some advice.
My advice would have been, I would have zero-summed their budget down to zero. And I would have given them sinking funds for childcare, for clothing, for vacations, and done a sinking fund so that, maybe you decide your vacations cost you $1,000 a year. I would have said, okay, so then every month maybe I say $1,200 to make it easy. So you do a sinking fund and you put that 12 in. I might have also told these people, maybe go to cash. Because then when your cash is done, like maybe you're going out to budget for this month was $75. And then if you're going to cash, when that $75 is gone, it's gone. Somebody who's never budgeted before, it's like, oh, but no, I have that $600. And you lose track of where that $600 goes, which is what they're already doing.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you. I'm gonna walk out.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you.
awesome. Good job.
Thank you so much.
So just curiously, are you guys like financial advisors, or what do you guys do for your careers, like with
I
finance?
work at the Federal Reserve Bank
Oh, wow.
and monetary policy.
We had a Federal Reserve challenge, and we simulated the Federal Reserve. It was
Yeah,
really
I'm
fun.
part of that too,
Okay,
because I do
yeah.
economic education, so yeah, I see you, maybe not you guys, but I know your teachers really well, so yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
financial advisor.
He is
So
a
fun.
See it.
He's a hard sell. It was just like he wasn't asking questions, he's ready to just tell you. So good job, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.